It was good. Went by fast, but excited to be back.
Too fast.
Yeah, very, very fast.
So obviously, this defense made a huge step from struggling to good last year. What's the toughest part about going from good to that next level, great or whatever you call it?
I would say just blocking out expectations and just staying locked into the same things we were locked into this past year, and that's just getting better every single day. We felt like we took a big stride this past spring, and we know if we just keep on just focus on getting better on a daily basis at the understanding of the scheme, communication, just doing your job. We know if we keep on doing that, we're going to end up being pretty good.
And you had that baseline already set. Do you do different things as a coach, like coming in knowing the place you're at this season, this defense is at, or is it kind of business as usual, same thing all the way through?
Every offseason, we always go back and start from scratch, and then you kind of get a feel for, okay, like how much did the group retain? What kind of team do you have? How fast can we move in the spring? So we started from scratch, but we were able to do more in the spring than we were this past year, just because even though we have a lot of new additions, we have a lot of guys who have been in this game. So I feel like it just helps speed everybody up.
For defense, seems like you guys were pretty fundamentally sound last year, and then just really the tackles for loss, getting after the quarterback a little bit deficient there. Like, how do you kind of work on that and improve that? Like, we're still sound tackling, but also forcing more negative plays.
Starts with me, and making sure I'm putting them in the right positions to make negative plays. And then it comes down to just, trusting the call and doing your job and not relying on the other guy next to you.
Where does it feel to you like this defense has maybe taken the biggest step since end of last offseason?
I would say, they've taken a big step in just communication and trust within each other. That just comes from reps. And then I think just more depth up front with our D-line. We lost some guys that played a ton of snaps, but we felt like the guys that were behind them, they improved all fall. They all took a big step this spring, and then we're excited about all the new depth we have behind them.
Defensive line looks a lot different. Like, what's been impressed you the most about that new group of guys?
What's been most impressive, the guys who have been in the scheme, this is year 2 for them, they all took a jump, which you expect. It's been the guys who are new, and just seeing like how fast they've picked up the defense. We were able to do more with the guys who are new than I expected, and that's just because, like I said, it's year 2 for so many other guys. So those other guys are just helping everybody else.
The defensive line, everyone's year 2 for your system, but how do the defensive line guys get better, specifically just a second year in the same system?
Well, we have a lot of guys up front that's going to be year 1, like Ja and Keyshawn, Jakeem, all the incoming freshmen. So all those guys are going to play a lot. So it was the guys like Dev, Jade, Cam, Shelby, Anthony, those guys, getting all those guys caught up. We were able to do a lot more in the spring.
And having more depth there, how does it help having a rotation on the defensive line?
It's big just as far as keeping guys healthy. We felt like this past year we did a good job of piecing together a Big Ten front seven, but we didn't have Big Ten depth. And you need depth to play in the Big Ten every single week, and that's the one thing we feel like this year we have. We have more guys that we trust in playing the game.
I know you said in the spring that Jakeem, had proven that he was going to have a role on this team. Where has he even maybe impressed you the most since then?
Again, just his football IQ. We put a lot on those guys' plates in the spring. Some of them played multiple positions, and just how fast he picked everything up. When he made mistakes, he wasn't down on himself. He learned from them. Doesn't make the same mistakes twice. For being so young, he's very mature and he acts like a pro.
What's it like to work with Coach Ryan? I think it's safe to say you guys are a little different, but how do you guys feel like you complement each other, and what has he added to the group?
It's been awesome. Someone with experience like him. He's coached D-line, outside backers, inside backers. He's been a coordinator. He has more experience than just about anybody I've ever coached with. So having him in the room every single day to be able to bounce ideas off of, to be able to give his opinion on things has been awesome.
What about the kind of energy maybe he's brought to the coaches room a little bit?
Yeah, he has the most energy every single day, and he's also the oldest on the staff. So that says a lot.
How much of a difference has he made with Eric in terms of him kind of taking that next step? Gentry.
Big difference, just as far as exposing them to NFL inside backer coach. Just the way he teaches, the way he installs, the way he is on the grass. You've seen all those guys, their football IQs just keeps on going up and up and up.
How much of a difference will it make just to have him back, Eric back, for an entire season?
Yeah.
I know it was pretty early that you guys lost him last year.
Huge difference. Like I told you guys this past year, I've never really coached a guy quite like Eric. With his size, with his skill set, with the number of positions that he can play. So having him back out there in the spring was a relief for us, and we're just super excited about the strides he took and how we'll be able to utilize him in the fall.
Seemed like he added some weight, maybe a little bit. How much can you guys see that?
He did, yeah. He's so tall, he'll put on 20 pounds and you can't tell. But this is the most consistent he's been with his weight, and it shows on the field. And it's going to show with his durability too.
How's it been working with Tremaine Carroll, the new strength and conditioning coach?
It's been awesome. We've been gone a majority of June and July between camps and some time off. So he's been with the players every single day. And I'm a big believer in how you do anything is how you do everything. So just the detail, the discipline, the accountability that he holds those guys to is going to carry over to the field.
Last year you guys wanted to get bigger on defense. Was there some kind of goal this offseason for what you wanted to accomplish for the defensive players, strength and conditioning wise?
Just show growth within this game. Like I told the guys, it's like when you're a math student, you're in algebra, and then next year you go to algebra 2. There needs to be some retention from algebra 1 so you can move on to algebra 2. And we just want guys to take that next step in this game.
Lincoln said at Media Day having Chad, having the front office, be able to take some stuff off of your guys' plates has made a big difference. He said it's the most re-energized he's felt after an offseason. Do you feel the same? Has it felt like you've been able to have a lot off your plate?
It's helped a lot. Just making the recruiting process more organized, making the evaluation process more streamlined, and they've also done a great job helping us recruit the kids themselves, which has been great.
Where would you say Chad has made the single biggest difference in terms of the program and what it's able to do?
I would say just making sure everyone's on the same page. The relationship between the scouting department and the coaches is big, and he's done a great job of bridging that gap and making sure that we're not just going after the best players, we're going after the right players, because that's the most important thing.
Not to change toilet paper. That's not the
It was big. It was big.
At Big Ten Media Day, Coach Riley mentioned, last year you guys were one of the most improved defenses, and I want you to just be an elite defense. What, aside from depth, what can you accomplish this fall camp you think that you can kind of elevate to that next step?
Like I tell the guys, just keep on blocking out the expectations, and if we just keep on getting better every single day, we know when camp's over, we're going to be right where we need to be for week 1.
Are there certain standards that you kind of set for your guys? I heard another coach say he doesn't like expectations, he likes standards.
Yeah.
Is there certain standards that you kind of instill in your defense, hey, this is the bar?
Ours is communication, effort, and attack, and that's something that we feel like we can grade fairly because everybody can do. Those things don't take talent, those things don't take playing experience. You could be a walk-on, you could be a starter. Everyone can do those things. And we feel like if we have a defense doing those 3 things every single play, no matter what we call, they're going to elevate the call.
And then we talked to you in the spring, a lot of new guys that came, obviously, from the portal, and then the freshmen that were able to enroll early. Were there any specific guys after that time where you thought they developed, or maybe not developed, but just transitioned really smoothly in the program?
It's the handful of guys. If I had to single out a group in particular, I would say just the young D linemen. There was a lot of young, talented kids that we were excited about, but you're always like, how long is it going to take them to get acclimated to college, from learning the playbook to the physicality up front. And I was just impressed with the work they put in this spring, that they're continuing to put in, and how quick they picked everything up.
We have time for one more question, and then Coach Dan has to say.
Any lessons learned from year 1 of the Big Ten?
The Big Ten reminds me a lot of the NFL. Obviously you still have the hashes and some of the formations and stuff, but you have to be able to stop the run. And when you can stop the run, it allows you to earn the right to rush the quarterback. And those are 2 things we need to improve on this year.
Thank you.
Thank you.